23 years in a gang. They call me Maniac. I'm from a Rio Chiques gang in the city of Oxnard. I first started flirting with my gang in 5th grade. I moved to a subsection of my neighborhood called Nyland Acres. That's the hood right there. You know, El Rio is a community in the city of Oxnard, and it has two different sections. It has El Rio, which is the main neighborhood, and then it has Nyland Acres, which the homies call it the backyard. They took it over sometimes in the 80s, and it's been ours ever since. It's flooded with El Rio boys. Anyways, I was in 5th grade when I first moved to Nyland, and right away I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with the lifestyle. There was nothing but homies. Everybody backed up the hood. Everybody there's fucking my older homie Nano, my older homie Nene, my homeboy Snoopy. Everybody cleaned the hood. But in the end, only a few of us ended up actually being from the hood. Ended up actually staying true to the neighborhood. My homeboy Snoopy is one of the first ones that got jumped in. And he came around way before my time. But when I was in 5th grade, I would go everywhere in Nyland. I would be in Nyland, fucking Almond, Orange. There was homies everywhere. I see my older homies get shot. I see my older homies shooting at each other, and the homies will fucking be right there playing soccer. There were a bunch of little kids right there just fucking going body blows. The homies will have gloves, you know what I mean? And I remember going toe to toe with the gloves. I put on the gloves with my homeboy Snoopy, and he beat the shit out of me. He's 2 years older, but I'm not gonna lie, he beat the shit out of me. He was a popular kid back then, he still is. He's still a good homie to this day. But I started hanging around with one of my friends named Beto Hernandez and Frankie Peralta. They both were cleaning the hood at that time. They were in 6th grade, I was in 5th grade. And as soon as shit started happening, it just got crazy for me because I remember the enemy faction started coming to the hood a lot. And I was the first time I ever really actually seen enemies. They pulled up on me and Beto Hernandez on Island Street, it's Island Avenue, and they were in a van, and they were deep. I'm talking about like a van load, and they pulled up right next to us, and I was gang related the fuck out. I used to steal all the clothes from my brother and wear it, big ass Ben Davis, Charlie Browns, all that shit. And they pull up and they were like, "What's up, babe? La Colonia Chiques," which is the rival hood, eh? As a kid in 5th grade, I mean, seeing older gang members just trying to fucking, I don't know if they were just fucking with us because they knew where we're from, or if they were just actually gonna fucking hurt us, but we got scared, we ran, took off, homes, and like I said, I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with the lifestyle, I used to look up to people I never even met. People like legendary, Listo, rest in peace now, Big Peligro, Bam Bam. All those names were rather popular in the neighborhood, They're almost legends to me as a little kid. I used to be like, damn, I wish I could meet the homie Peligro. And to this day, I never really got to meet him real good, because he's way older than me by like 19 years, and he went away when I started coming around tough. I met him a few times. He was feed man, but I never got to become friends with him. But in those days, I used to be like, damn, I hope I can meet him, and or I hope I can meet my homie Listo. That was just, everybody talks about Listo. He was just one of the downest homies the hood's ever had. He unfortunately he got shot by the cops. They killed him. He shot two cops and they killed him and shit. So 5th grade went by, 6th grade came around, and I'm still right there chilling, claiming the neighborhood, and my dad hits me with the bad news. Like, he was trying to get a house. And at first he was gonna try to get one in Nyland, which is where I was already comfortable. You know what I mean? And then he said, "You know what? I found one in Oxnard." And I'm all like, "Oxnard? Like, what the fuck? Like, Just find one right here in our Rio. Like, fuck that. And he was like, well, I already bought it, so we're moving within a month. I remember that broke. That was like the first time I ever got my heart broken. I was like, fuck, I gotta leave the hood. Like, all my friends are here. Like, and we so happened to move into a gang infested area where the enemies, I'm not gonna lie, bro, they control that shit. And I was a little kid, I was already in sixth grade, gonna be in seventh grade. And so we get there, and right away we see that there's a lot of activity going on with the Corona Chiques. They were deep. I'm talking about like 20, 30 posted at the park. Every park you went to, they were there, cruising on bikes, walking. Like, this is 1997, 1998. This is like the peak of gangbanging in the city of Oxnard as I remember it. I'm pretty sure there's older homies that remember it different back in their days, but in my days, that was like the most gang infested areas I've ever seen. I never seen the same thing as I seen in the 90s as I do now. It's way different. So with pressure of my family, right away they were like, you know what, these guys, they're gonna come shooting at the house. You can't be claiming in Rio over here, and that was like the second time I got my heart broken because they pressured me into just not claiming, and for like about a year as a little kid, I was like 12 years old, I didn't claim. I didn't claim nothing. And to me, it was like, I didn't see myself not claiming anything, like I wanted to be so down for a real gang, and I remember uh, I went like for the last few months to Kamala school, sixth grade, and I made my own gang, and I was influenced by that movie Blood In Blood Out, and I jumped in like four, five little kids, Luis Venegas, um, one of my friends named Enrique, one of my friends named Juan Lopez, and another friend named Oscar Gonzalez. In sixth grade, we all made a little gang. It lasted like 2, 3 weeks, and then the Oxnard detectives found out. They want to go talk to me and scare the shit out of me. You know what I mean? I didn't want to get in trouble. You know what I mean? So we stopped. None of those guys are gang members now, but if you ask them, they'll tell you that we almost went through with a new gang in Oxnard. I don't know if it would have lasted or not, but it was something new. But to me, it was still like I was just gonna try to manipulate it to where it was gonna be a click off El Rio. That was my main goal. My main goal was to be an El Rio gang member. So I hit seventh grade, and I just felt like really, really bad, because fifth, sixth, I'm over here. Everything I want to do is just be from the hood, be from El Rio. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do nothing else in life. I was influenced by movies, corridos, just being fucking gangster, being sick with it, you know what I mean? And seventh grade went by, and I made a lot of friends because the junior high school was controlled by Corona Chiques gang members. There was too many of them, too many to mention. And so I started building like a fortitude of friends, like people that didn't like, people that were tired of that barrio in junior high, and it got to the point to where summer school came and I was gonna be an eighth grader already, and I just said fuck all this shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna be from El Rio, no matter what. So I just went over there and I told everybody I'm from El Rio, and ever since then, I was like 13 at the time. Ever since then, I've never stopped again. It was like my dream, So now I'm in the Hill Street area of the city of Oxnard, claiming El Rio, recruiting homeboys. I recruited the same week I started banging, full throttle for the second time. Uh, I recruited a homeboy named Little Shags. Till this day, he's still from the hood. He went to CYA, did like 8 years, got out, did another 4 or 5, got out, did another little stretch, got out, you know. So he's institutionalized. He robbed Kmart and he steal from the hood. You know, that's my homeboy right there. Um, so at that time, you know, everybody's tripping out. Like all the kids, they're like, "Fuck!" Like these fools are actually claiming. You know, they're fucking. They want to fight. They want to do everything. And there was by the time I was in eighth grade, there was only like 10, 15 little Polonia kids, you know, and there was only like three or four hardcore ones. Like one of them is in death row. He was a vicious ass, gangster ass little kid. I'm not gonna say his name because he's my friend, and I'll fill in the gaps on that. I'm gonna write a book about this, but he's fighting his appeal, so I'm not gonna mention him and let the DA use his name for anything negative. But he was one of the hardcore ones, and then there was about three, four other ones. The rest were just like followers, people that didn't really want to fucking do nothing, people that just were claiming a gang because their brothers, uncles, their parents are from a certain gang, you know. And little by little, I started taking over. Like I was pretty big for my size, you know, so nobody really wanted to get them up. But then after school, their brothers would come, their homeboys would come from high school, and I started getting chased everywhere, bro. I was like, fuck, like what the fuck did I get myself into this time, bro? I remember walking on Hill Street by the fruteria, and they'll be hiding right there, you know. They'll be like eight, nine fools, older fools in high school. I'm in eighth grade, you know. They got weapons. I don't got no weapons, you know. And waiting for it, and I could see them, you know, because you could see the flannels, you know, fucking long socks, and they're just looking, you know, and I'm walking like normal, you know what I mean? And fucking, as soon as they start coming, homie, I was gone, homie. I was just fucking, I wasn't trying to die, none of that shit, you know what I mean? So the first few months, it was like really, really hard for me because I was trying to integrate banging for El Rio. You know, there was a crazy little kid from Loma Flats named Spanky, and he went up to me, you know what I mean? He told me not to be fucking mad dogging people in Hill Street, you know, and he pretty much checked me, you know, and I was just like, well, if they look at me, I'm gonna look at them, you know, but I'm not gonna lie, that fool was a hardcore gang member. He was only like 2 years older than me, but he was already a hardcore gang member. At the time, I was just there, just trying to be a gang member, you know what I mean? And time went on, and fucking in school, I'll get crazy with those fools, fucking maybe catch a 101, whatnot. But after school, they would always try to fucking go get me. You know, there was this little guy named Ricky. He ended up not being from nowhere later on in life, but he would always come with his homeboys after school, you know, trying to get me. I don't know for what reason, because they were older, you know. And they see me right there on Saviors and at the liquor store, Saviors and Hill Street. And he was all like, "Hey, so where you from?" And I told him, "You know what's up, homie? Big time El Rio." So that's a rival gang, you know. And so he didn't even have the balls to get him up. He was just like, he looked at his homeboys and told them like, "Oh, fuck, yeah, he just said it," you know. So his homeboys start getting crazy, you know. And me and one of my friends, we keep on walking, and it is what it is, you know. We walked away and shit. They didn't do shit. And then there was another time where I was walking with the homie that became from Sultan. His name's Cisco. Um, we're walking on Hill Street, and as we're walking, I see two fools that go to school with us. It was some dude named Oscar and some dude named Matthew, and they were little Colonia boys, you know. So I see them, and it was just rare. It was just crazy to me because in school they were little fucking pussies. They were little bitches, you know. They didn't want to get them up, nothing, you know. And they're just mad dogging me. So I start walking towards them, and there's a church. There's a church right there on Hill Street, on Hill and C, and I'm walking towards Saviors on Hill Street, you know. And I'm in eighth grade. You gotta remember, I'm 13 years old. I'm a little ass kid, but I'm trying to be a gang member, you know. In my mind, I'm a gang member, so I call them out like, "What's up, you fucking little bitches?" I diss their hood, everything. But behind the church, there was a bunch of guys older guys, like in high school. To me, they look big, but they came with sticks, fucking all kinds of weapons, no guns, nothing crazy like that. So when they came running, me and the homie ran. Luckily, there was a guy named E Dog from Food Town. He was posted right there at the apartments right there on Hill Street Apartments. Fucking, he came out and fucking, he was all like, "What's up?" He was older, he's pretty big, so fucking, he was all like, "What's up, And they didn't want to come, like they didn't want to get close, like they want to fuck with two little kids in junior high, but now that they see an older gang member their age, but it's pretty big, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say nothing. He might have not had a weapon, but they were just flashing their hood and they walked away. So that was like the first time I felt victory against that gang. It was like the first time I felt, not that I did anything, but I felt like fuck, they're actually not invincible. I used to look at them like fuck, they never lose because they have a gang of homies, brothers, uncles, fucking everything. They never lose. And that time they walked away, so I was all like, I'm gonna start victimizing these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make it a life goal to fucking victimize these fools because I just had so much hatred towards them at that time. Later on, we're in the pinta, the homie E Dog from Food Town would always clown around and say, "Man, I used to save you, fool, when you were in fucking junior high, running from all this fools. I used to save you." I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I keep it gangster, bro. That's just true. There was a few times where they almost had me, and he came out to help. And as a matter of fact, if he's watching this shit, I salute you, homeboy. You know what it is. Every time I see you in the pinta, I always showed you appreciation for that. And anyways, time went on. Time went on, and fucking, I got into high school, but I had before the homie went to CYA, he got beat up really, really bad. They sent him to the hospital. And so that was before actually. That was before hitting high school. It was like we were barely gonna go to high school, and fucking they beat him up pretty, pretty bad. And I remember just grabbing sticks, crowbars, and fucking all kinds of shit. And we knew where this fool's kicked it at. So we went to the certain spot, certain location, and that guy that did it, one of the guys that did it, he was right there, and I was just like, "Fuck, let's get him." But there was like two older heads, like civilians, walking with their dogs, and I was in a truck loaded of homies. There was two Southside boys and fucking my homeboy little Shags, myself, and fucking we had weapons, ready to fuck fools up. And we see this fool, so I tell the homies, let's get this fool. So he sees us, he starts fucking tying his shoelaces. He fucking, as soon as the guy started coming towards us, he runs. So we go after him, we get off the truck, and we start chasing him, jumping fences. He started jumping fences, and he actually got away. But I remember seeing my homeboy Shaggy for the first time. I looked at him as a gangster because this guy was so infuriated that he got beat up that he wanted to really hurt this guy. Like, I'm pretty sure he would have probably killed him. We had fucking crowbars, golf clubs. This guy was gonna get hurt, but he managed to run faster than we did and fucking jump fences faster than we did. And that pretty much culminates this episode of that time. And I'm gonna write a book so I can fill in all the gaps. It's a very, very long story, so I really gotta think about it. I want to be more articulate and more precise with details, like that. I don't leave nothing out. And but aside from that, I'm gonna I'm gonna give you a brief summary of my life and how I became one of the most known gang members in the city of Oxnard, one of the most notorious. Um, with that being said, I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate the haters. I appreciate everybody showing love. everybody's welcome to come and fucking drop a comment. And sooner or later, I'll do a Q&A, and we'll take it from there.